Okay, so I got some dolls. First I'll show you what I was doing when the boxes arrived. I was in the process of cutting things out to sew because I believe the name is Linkhart on Instagram had sewn a doll sweater using the dolman sleeve doll sweater pattern that I shared, and had sewn it out of just, most of the time when I had sewn that shirt, I had sewn it with just like t-shirt knits. Well, this one was sewn with sort of a lightweight sweater knit. It's like, why have I never done that? So I wanted to sew some of those with sweater knits. And like I did, this is the first one I had the idea to do. It does fit dolls, I haven't put it on anybody yet. And I used the last of this hideous, well, almost the last. There's a little bit left. I finally sewed another thing to send to John for his very, very belated birthday out of the hideous sweater. I still never know which is the better hideousness, this side. But I obviously go with the striped side. And I've had this ridiculous cloth for a long time. I wanted to use up the very last of this. I didn't have quite enough to do a proper curvy size for the sweater. So this, I like angled it in so it's narrower, so it's more original Barbie size, and along with the skirt, which doesn't have elastic, it just has some different knit on the top, so rather 80s style. I did also cut out another circle skirt for the 60cm doll, but I didn't sew it together. Technically, when you cut out circle skirts or things with a lot of bias to them, you're supposed to let them hang overnight, so that since bias is stretchier, so it can stretch into shape and you can trim it back to being round. So it's like here in the hanging stage, and it's been that way for a while. But eventually we'll get that. And I sewed another one of these sweaters that I put on one of the dolls I got from Flo, which, if you've seen the big box opening videos I posted, it's 2 dolls from Haybug and a bunch of dolls, bunch of dolls from Flo. So I've been playing with those. This floats, and the head is from an Olmec company, toy company, Imani doll from the early 90s, and the body that Flo also sent is from an Integrity Toys, probably Dynamite Girls, could be Miss Susie, but probably Dynamite Girls. She doesn't have hands, but this is a big slouchy sweater, so maybe your hands are just, tucked up inside. Until I will get some hands put together for her eventually. Unfortunately, when I cut this print out, I cut it just a little asymmetrically. You can see especially where these dots, blobs, whatever you call those things, are in relation to the collar. So that's part of the reason she goes for the slouchy off the shoulder look. So I have posted a lot of pictures of the dolls that I've put together from the stuff that Flo and Haybug sent. I will go ahead. Haybug sent the AA hiker, mountain climber, whatever you call those maid de vues with the lovely dark skin. This one, there's something not quite right with the arm, and it won't go down close to the body like that side will. I don't know if it's just warped from being in the box, or if there's something actually in the way. I haven't looked into it enough to try to fix it yet, but I will. I also want to repaint her, just because Tiffy got Rainbow Bright and repainted her lips so there were no teeth, and actually the sculpt looks really good with no teeth. And I just have this pile of dolls on my desk from the things that I put together that Flo sent. So I'm just going to grab them kind of randomly. No big finale or anything, just the dolls. The Sunset Malibu Skipper, who still had her original sunglasses sewn to her head. I worked those back so they were over her bangs instead of under her bangs. I love this doll's face is just so outraged looking. The Sunset Malibu Skippers had this kind of odd paint where the eyes did not fill in the entire sculpted eye well. There's like this little bit on the bottom. And just between that bit on the bottom could be interpreted as eyelid and how high her eyebrows are. She just looks so outraged. Which I love. Now I had some people asking about this dress. This is a dress I made 11 years ago based on a vintage Lika dress that I'd seen in a pamphlet or book or something. So it's super not like the Lika dress, but it's just inspired by it. That's why the lace is only in front. Because, you know, the toy companies like to cut that corner. And this is from Scary Godmother Doll. And then I was having fun with kid dolls. So, again, also, every other doll you're going to see in this video was sent by Flo. So I got these two also ready for Halloween. I mean, she's wearing a Halloween dress. It's nice that these dolls are roughly Blythe size around, although their waists are much shorter. So anything that was a high-waisted Blythe dress fits these pretty well. And we have the Barbie witch hats and the more Scary Godmother Halloween purses. I did have to cheat a little bit with her shoes. I didn't have anything that fit her really well. These are Barbie shoes from the 90s. I had to slit the back of them. But they're close enough. I mean, I could have put like vintage Allen or other Ken shoes on her, but I mean, these aren't the girliest shoes, but those shoes were just they weren't the look I wanted. And she's just wearing 90s Stacy fake Birkenstocks. So these are some of those dolls who dress for the weather you want, not the weather it is. That's how it works, right? Ready for Halloween. And Halloween stuff is starting to show up in the stores. I did go into Target and Walmart and 2 thrift stores today, and I didn't find anything. Nothing toy. I found like a t-shirt for my kid. But they were putting out fall stuff in Walmart. Not Halloween yet, because back to school is still in place, but there were fall things out. And I went into Target because everybody's been finding all these great dolls on clearance in Target, and my Target, it had some of the Forces of Destiny Star Wars ladies, but not Sabine. And they were kind of marked down. But I think people have been getting the wrestling ladies on clearance in Target, and they weren't marked in clearance. And I know people have been getting Project MC Square dolls on clearance in Target, and actually, the Target was in the middle of a reset. There was no Barbie aisle. All the Barbies were piled in a cart because they were going to move to another aisle. So I guess it was a bad day to go to Target. But, you know, the kid went back to school today, so it's my first day of freedom. So I had to check out all the places. Well, not all the places. Anyway. Although he doesn't have school tomorrow because the school is a polling place and tomorrow is primary election day. So they start school on a Wednesday, no school on Thursday, then they'll have school on Friday, and then it'll be the weekend. I'm guessing they're not really going to do much work this week. Okay, who else do we have here? We have Hasbro, Maxie's friend Ashley, wearing the Hello Kitty outfit that Flo also sent. I never liked Maxie. Even when I was a kid and Maxie was new, it's not just that I was a total gem kid and then Maxie was like, you know, anti-gem. Maxie was just a normal girl. I never liked her head sculpt. And even the adult, I still don't. Something about Maxie's head sculpt I just don't like. Ashley, though, is lovely. And as Jen points out, she's very much like the Mattel Steffi sculpt. So this is the first doll in the Maxie line of dolls who I will be holding on to. I've had Maxies several times and always passed them on or parted with them somehow or another. But I do like Ashley. And I will say, since this is the first time I've ever actually liked a Maxie and Friends doll, this is the first time I've actually really looked at the body. And she's got some buff arms. So that's Ashley from the Hasbro Maxi line. And this doll has Ashley from the Hasbro Gem line. Is one of the Starlight girls. So this was a kid in the Gem universe, but because Gem dolls are a little bit bigger, their heads are a lot bigger. But see, this is just amuses me because this is Hasbro Ashley and this is Hasbro Ashley. This is Hasbro Ashley from, I think the Starlight girls were 86. Yeah, and this is Ashley from 87. So, Ashley and Ashley amuses me. And she's wearing, it says this is the dress that Flo sent. These are actually both from the things that Haybug sent. She sent the fashion pack that included this shirt, and these are the shorts from the hiker mountain climber dolls. So Ashley and Ashley both wearing the clothes that people sent with cats on them. Which I really just realized that these are both wearing the clothes that people sent. And after that, literally just realized that the cat's on them. So I'm sure I can find other things that these dolls have in common if I dwell on it, but I'm not going to. And the Indigo Fresh dolls wearing one of those dresses that I shared the pattern for. This is the one that I sewed the skirt with a slightly smaller seam allowance so it would fit vintage Barbies. And it fits the Fresh doll body really well. And as Queen of Squids points out, this doll's hair is really nice. It's nice and heavy, and the braids are really nice. It's just, it has that kink in it where she was sewn into the box, and I've seen suggestions on how to get that kink out, and I will eventually work on that. I mean, I might even take her hair down. The only other doll I've had with all over braided hair like this is in the 90s. I bought the Clueless Dion doll, who was one of Mattel's first dolls to use that twisted hair to simulate braids. And I thought, well, yeah, that's nice, but it's not braids. So I actually spent one day watching Tu Wong Fu Love Julie Newmar and braiding all of her hair, which I secured the braids at the bottom with super glue. I have no idea what happened to that doll. So these are some nice braids, and I will try to flatten them eventually. Oh, another kid doll that Flo sent was this girl who I just think is, well, I know if I'd had this doll when I was young, a little girl doll with blonde hair and brown eyes, I just would have been ecstatic, because I had super blonde hair when I was a kid. It was never this short. I had super long blonde hair that was always pretty in need of being brushed, which my kid has inherited that hair from me. So I'm guessing these are her original clothes, whoever she is. She might just be a generic random Hong Kong doll, because it's all, her head says Hong Kong and her body says Hong Kong, and she's on the spherical neck. She might be a clone of somebody, she might be an original doll. I don't know. I don't know if this arm is supposed to be out like that or if it's gotten warped from sitting some way over the years. There was her ruffle was, the stitches had popped, so I stitched that back together. I'll probably put some, dropped her shoe, probably put some other clothes on her eventually, but I do really like this outfit for the kind of doll she is. When I pulled her out of the box of stuff from Flo, the shirt was untucked and over the skirt, but I remember the 80s. We pretty much tucked everything in until grunge hit in the 90s, so I'm assuming her clothes were supposed to be tucked in, but maybe that's just my stylistic decision. This is the fakey dung head he sent on a Tinkerbell friend body that I already had, that I thrifted. And I've been informed, I just randomly thrifted these wings. I've been informed that they are Equestria Girls wings. And they, I think someone might have chewed on the end of them at some point, but not me. And I drilled a hole in her back and cemented the wings in place with that acetone goo, where you dissolve hard plastic in acetone, and then you can make this like paste that will eventually reharden into solid plastic. So I don't think I had to do anything to get her head onto this body. So she's just kind of made a random stuff, and she's wearing some of the Bratz clothes that Eric sent a while ago, although I did take the pants in to be less exploding flare bell bottoms. I will eventually make something for her to wear, but I did not feel like sewing for these dolls. I just want to get them dressed. So I sorted through everything until I could find something that would actually go around the wings, so she ends up with the Bratz clothes. And this was just a head that Flo had sent that I did not recognize her, that I knew of, but something in my brain says she really should go on that one pivotal body you have, not on the regular Fashionista's articulated body. And it turns out she is Mistress of Ceremonies from the initial release of Pivotal dolls. So something in my brain might have recognized her as going on a pivotal body, although this is the pivotal body from one of those Dancing with the Stars dolls. I think it was Dancing with the Stars. So she has Fashionista's arms, but long pivotal legs. I'm not sure, has anybody ever tried washing the hair on this? I don't want her curls to go away, but they are super styling product crunchy. I don't know if washing those, if the curls would still be there. If anybody knows, if anybody's done that, because I don't want to lose this curl, and I don't want to recurl her hair, because I know me and curls, they wouldn't end up looking like this, but they crunch. This is one of the heads that Flo rerouted with yarn hair, and I had a live body that matched. He sent several dolls on live bodies. I can't remember, I accidentally said that he sent this head and the body, but not in this case. Although these shoes are from the dolls that he sent me a few years ago. The WITCH Tyranny doll, I think. So this was one of the 80s. Kira, it could have been Miko. She originally had bright orange lipstick that obviously stained her face, but I kind of like that lip stain look on her. And there's so much cat hair and lint and cloth snips and things stuck in this hair. But I think she's another one of those dolls who's ready for fall, just with her general color scheme. And her hiking boots. And I'm so ready for fall. Now that it really cools down around here, because we're in the south. Another head that Flo sent that he rerouted with yarn hair, this was one of the Mattel Shakira dolls. And she has just great makeup. And I decided that she'd be a little gothy. This is a skirt that I originally made for my Gulliapi doll. But, you know, those 17-inch Monster High dolls have about the same torso size around as Barbie, so my dolls are still getting use out of the skirt. He originally had her hair in a really nice style that I was trying to maintain, but I accidentally loosened it, so I decided instead I would try to make her hair as big as possible, because that's also, you know, proper goth. And he and I both used to, in the early 2000s, we were really blue-haired dolls. I was all about blue-haired dolls. They were called the Blue Crew, dolls in action figures. And if they didn't have blue hair, I would reroute them or paint them blue hair. And then it got to the point about 2006 or 7 when it was actually getting really easy to find blue-haired dolls. And I realized I was acquiring blue-haired dolls just because they had blue hair, even though there were other dolls in the line that I liked more. So that kind of broke my obsession with blue-haired dolls, but I still like blue-haired dolls from time to time. And then the Twist and Turn Barbie head on a standard Barbie body that he sent. I cannot remember who I made these jeans for. I don't remember if it was Articulated Fashionistas or Liv or maybe even a Pivotal Barbie. The waist is a little loose, but other than that, these jeans fit this body really, really well. It doesn't matter if she can't really move in them because she's a standard Barbie. She can't really move much anyway. And this is a shirt I made a while ago for female action figure size, but again, the proportions of a vintage Barbie are a little closer to female action figure proportions when you go around. This is made from, I'm sure I've told you, let's see, it's when the kiddo was in pre-K, so he just started 4th grade today, so 6 years ago? 5 years ago, yeah, 6-ish years ago, I'd say. I went into a thrift store and there was a stack of quilting cotton that had been cut into 4-inch squares for like $2 or $3. And I bought that and I made so many doll clothes from mixing those squares. I still have some of the squares left, it's just they don't go together quite as much as other things. And one of the first things I made was this shirt from all those random squares. Back when I was hoarding, I think I scavenged this lightweight hook and loop tape off of a doll item of Barbie clothing that was either falling apart or just generally unpleasant, and I scavenged the hook and loop tape. So some of my rare older hook and loop tape, lightweight hook and loop tapes, which I don't know, it just amuses me. You can see this binder back here. This is where I'm keeping Mini Woo hook and loop tape. I guess I can take it out of the envelope. I'm still working through actually the hook and loop tape Cosmo so generously sent. And it might take me a while to work through this unless I just, start making more doll clothes again. Alright, in the last dolls, we have the Avon Kenzie. I mean, this is her stock clothes. She's not wearing her shoes, so they don't quite fit, and I don't want them to fly off and go who knows where, because how many shoes have I already dropped. So that's Kenzie. And then the last doll I have here is floats in ahead from a doll that I couldn't identify initially, but identified later, was a Tonka cupcake doll from the 90s. These were little, like, 6-inch dolls with cheerful faces and bodies that could be flipped one way and it would be a skirt, and flip the other way and the whole doll would like disappear into a cupcake. So this is Cupcake. This is also the body curvy that Flo happened to have sent. And I decided Cupcake would be a fun name for her, and she has she just has a face that, to me, she's one of those people that says, "Oh, bless her heart," a lot. So she's one of those people. And incidentally, I shared this pattern, and this is the pattern I just shared for curvy, for the sweatshirt that will fit curvy if your clothes are stretchy enough, and the curvy skirt. And the last thing I want to say is, Phil and I both agreed that this face looked so familiar. And probably what it is that there's some line, see, this doll's made in 1990, so line of late 80s, early 90s, just clone dolls, Barbie clones who have this head sculpt. And then I realized they look a lot alike. Not exactly alike. There's enough differences that I don't think one was stolen from the other. Although she would have come first, because I think she was from 90, and I think the Tonka cupcake dolls are from a little later. And she does have a little less definition, like around the nose and the lips and stuff. But I don't know if that's why she looks so familiar, because both Flo and I had been looking at this, or if there's another line of dolls who look like this out there somewhere. So, that's where I am this week. I don't know what dolls I'll have next week. I don't know if I will go through all the things that Flo sent and put more together, or if I will take time to sew more doll clothes, although I need to start sewing thanks and belated birthdays for people, so that doesn't mean that I will show you what I sew. I know some people want to see the thanks doll clothes I sew, but I kind of like them to be a surprise for people. I mean, that's not saying that none of these could, some of these could maybe end up in thanks clothes. I haven't decided yet. But, or if I will sew for humans, or if I will just vegetate in front of the computer and think about all the stuff that I should be doing. So, I'll still, thanks to Flo, have plenty of things that I could put together and could share, even if I don't find anything in the thrift store. And I know I am babbling now. And it's about time to start getting ready for the kiddo to come home from his first day of school anyway, so thanks for watching.